Alright guys, a painter I ain't, but we're gonna see how this goes. I got a respirator on. I've never sprayed any of this 2K paint before, but from what I understand it'll kill you, so that's a bad thing. And I'm gonna wear this respirator. I do have a beard, so it's not the best seal in the world, but I did pressure test it, you know, by holding my hand over the front and exhaling. It does seem to be sealing pretty good. I have a big fan over here. It's a 60-inch fan at that door to pull air out, and I have a sheet over the back of it there. Something in my beard there. It's paint or something other. Anyway, I have a sheet over it to keep from pulling the overspray through the fan because it's a brand new fan. But anyway, I'm gonna set you guys up. Hopefully I don't get overspray all over my camera, and go mix this paint up here. And we're going to start spraying and see how this goes. This is an old spray gun that I've had, and I used to spray like some normal enamel paint with it on some trailers and whatnot. I'm not sure how it's going to do. I did order a new spray gun that I'm going to spray the color and the clear with. So I'm just trying to get some primer on it right now. That way I can go ahead and get it sanded, and the new spray gun should be in tomorrow. So here we go. Alright guys, that paint gun there is a piece of crap. I knew just as soon as I started spraying it, it wasn't going to work very well, but I already had the paint mixed up, and that being 2K paint, you can't put it back in the thing. It hardens with a catalyst. So I had to go ahead and try to spray it the best I could. It doesn't look bad other than it's got a little bit of orange peel, but it's just primer. It's got to be sanded anyway, so it doesn't matter. I didn't get quite as much on there as I wanted. There's some rock chips here. I'm not really going to worry about that a whole lot, just because of the fact you know, it's an 18-wheeler and it's going right back out on the road. It's going to have some more in it, you know, by next week. I put a brand new windshield in this truck 2 weeks later, had a rock chip in it. So it's just kind of more labor for no reason. Anyway, I remember something was going on with that paint gun last time I used it, and it's been probably 3 or 4 years since I tried to paint anything with that gun. And I remember there's something going on with it, and I wound up using an airless sprayer like you paint a house with. when I painted my flatbed here. And like I say, that's been about 4 years ago, probably 3 or 4 years ago, probably about 4. But anyhow, I knew there was something going on with it, so I went ahead and ordered a decent spray gun, a double bis, what was it thing? FLG4 or something other. It's like a $200 something spray gun. So it should be decent. And that thing there was like a $20 spray gun, and I've had it for years, and it's a piece of junk. So I went ahead and ordered one. I mean, it does okay for certain things you're used to when it was new, when it would have spray. Another thing is, this being primer, it's a little thicker. That's only a 1.4 tip on that gun anyway. So I knew it wasn't going to work great, but hey, I got some primer on it, and it can dry, and I can come back and sand it, and then we can get some paint going on it. So that's what I was going for. You can see the repair there, pretty well blended in on this bar across here, as well as all this right here. Remember, all this is broke out right here across that fender. So I mean, it doesn't look bad for, you know, I'm not, like I say, I'm not a professional body person at all. I'm just out here in my shop in my backyard doing this. I'm not worried about this right here. The grill goes in here, and that grill's got like a 2-inch or a good 1.5 inch overlap, so the grill will cover that right there. I'll show you on that. See how much that grill will cover. So it's going to cover that anyways. So I didn't worry about that right there. And overall, I don't think it's going to look bad there, you know. Just got to wait on the other paint gun to come in and finish it up. Alrighty, guys. I'll see you when another paint gun comes in. Alright, guys, I got 2 heaters over here. I'm going to let this warm up, let a little heat flow across it, help it cure a little bit. And I'm going to get out of here. I just turned these on. That's a 210, this is a 220. So we got 430,000 BTU going there. That's showing 61, and that one's showing 64 over there. So it'll warm up a little bit in here in a minute and help that to go ahead and cure over there. Alright, guys, I don't know how many hours I got in this at this point, but I'm back out here again, probably 30 something. But I decided to go ahead and put some spot filler in these little holes here, and I didn't get all of them, but I got the majority of them there. And I've got this thing sanded down with 600 grit, wet sanded it. I found that a pump up sprayer works great for wet sanding, and fill it up with water and then just spray it on there. I've got a new paint gun because the other one was a piece of junk, so, and I knew that, so I'd already ordered this one. This is a DeVille Bis FLG4 or FLG 670, whatever. It's the Finish Line, FLG4 Finish Line by DeVille Bis. It comes with that regulator. I've got one of those throwaway dryer things and another regulator because that plastic thing can't be over 70 psi. I think it'll blow up. I got 160 pounds of air. I got a regulator and a filter from a compressor ordered, but it hasn't come in yet. It'll be here tomorrow afternoon. I want to go ahead and get this sprayed, so I just unhooked my 1/2 inch hose that I there it is over there. So I keep in here, put a reducer bushing, screwed a 1/4 inch hose straight into it. But like I say, I got a filter regulator set up coming for this to mount right here, and I'll put that on there. But I want to go ahead and get this done and get it over with. So this is the way we're going to do it right here, and hope we have good results. So let me get this paint mixed up here, and we'll get started. guys, I got it painted blue. The fumes in here are still kind of bad, and I got this fan over here running. You see how much that fan's pulling out. The whole back side of that sheet is blue, but it's still kind of strong in here, so I'm not going to be in here for just a second. I want to show you guys. It does, the paint gun works pretty good, and the hood is blue. I got a few imperfections in it here, there, and yonder. And it'd be better if I could paint this hood laying down like this, but I had to have it standing up because this plastic I mask with is not like masking plastic. And whenever you hit this with your air gun, the paint will flake off and land in the paint on the hood because the paint won't stick to this plastic. So it's just kind of there. When you hit it with air off your gun, it just blows over, flakes off in big chunks and lands on your paint. So I'm having to paint it. And I know my technique's not the best in the world. I'm not a painter, so that's my excuse, and I'm sticking with that. But anyway, I hope I got everything covered. I put 2 coats on it. We'll see how it looks. I ran out of paint, so I almost didn't order enough paint. I ordered half a gallon. That stuff's $90 a quart, so $180 for just the base coat. That doesn't include the primer and the clear. But I'm waiting on it to flash, and then we're gonna clear it. So it'll all be dry there in a minute, hopefully. And we'll throw some clear on there and go ahead and let her fire the heaters back up and let it bake some, and then we'll put the grill and everything back in. So I'll be right back with you guys. Oh, one more thing. I broke the little plastic water thingy off of my paint gun. That thing's just plastic, and I bumped it and broke it. So just running one regulator now, right there, straight off the air hose. So I don't have any kind of water separator or dry or anything like that. So I don't know how this is going to go. I did that as I was finishing up the color there, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to spray clear on it and be done with this project, because I need to get this thing, get the bumper back on there and get it back on the road. See the water drops right there? That's what happens when you don't have a water trap or a dryer on there. Put water in your paint. All I can do is let it dry and then try to clean that off, and then I'll spray my next coat on there. But got bugs and everything crawling in it, of course, and dust, but it's the best I can do, painting in a shop. Not sure how much orange peel. There's a good bit right here on this panel. I don't know if this camera's picking that up very well, but I was a little bit far away when I sprayed this right here. And some of it's laying down pretty good though. I mean, that's not bad. It's got a little bit to it, but that's not bad. Ain't nothing some buffing won't fix anyways. Alright guys, I finally got this thing back together. 40 something hour project here. The paint turned out so-so. I got one spot or a couple of spots. One spot that don't look great. I run out of paint, and I had a run, and I went to fix the run. I got a little bit carried away there, and I sanded a little bit too much, and then I didn't have any paint to touch it back up with. So there's a little bit of a bare spot there, and then you know, I got some dirt in it and whatnot from the atmosphere, but that's okay. Got a little bit of overspray on one side of the hood. And one side turned out really good. I don't know if you can tell there, which that'll buff out. You can see the overspray right here. This side here come out really good, other than the dust that's on it. See my reflection there, reflection of the roof. But you can see the overspray right here where I sprayed this fender. The second time I got overspray on the hood. The spot that, let me let the hood back down, show you. It'll be easier to see. The spot right here that got a little bit carried away with right there, standing in the light. There you go, you can see it. Sanded a little bit too much, didn't have any paint to touch that up. I can order some more paint and go back and fix this and mask this off and repaint that if I want to. It's not the end of the world. Like I say, it's going to get messed up again. I got a little bit of, I don't know if the camera even picked that up. Slight streaks right here. There was some water that landed in it, and the air paint sprayer, can't even talk, been up so long. Spray gun sprayed the water across and caused a little runs right there. But that type of stuff there will buff out. I don't have a buffer. I used to have one, and it was one of those cheap jobs, and it burned up. I mean, there's a few little spots here, there, and yonder that I didn't touch up and overlooked and stuff. This headlight right here is supposed to have a little trim piece. It broke off. I'm not even gonna worry about that. I'm not buying a headlight just to get that stupid little piece like on this side right here. This side here come out really good. You see my reflection in it right there. The bumper on this side, I couldn't get the brackets loose. See how it's bent down a little bit? I couldn't get the brackets loose up in there. The bolts are rusted up by trying to use that DeWalt Impact DCF 899, and it won't even break them loose. So I might deal with that a little later. The other side, I got it lined back up pretty good. See right there, it's pretty well right. But overall, I mean, it doesn't look bad. I think I like the black bumper better than I did the blue one. The color match may be just a little bit off. I'm not sure. The truck is so dirty that it's hard to tell. It actually looks kind of close on camera, but not really in person. There's so much dirt, filth, and road film on the truck that it's just hard to tell it's being fresh paint. But I'm not real concerned with this right here. I mean, look at the side skirts on the truck down through here. All the trims done fell off, and I never bothered to replace it because that stuff's super expensive for what it is. I mean, you can spend $600–700 on this stupid trim right there, and that stupid trim doesn't make me any money. So I'm more worried about keeping it, you know, road legal and mechanically to where I don't break down. And you know, the hood's pretty important because you got to be able to open the hood to check everything out. But that little trim over there, I'm not worried about. The little paint blemish here, that I'm not worried about. I mean, this truck's got 1.3 million miles on it, so it's definitely not a new truck. The estimate on repairing this was between $6,000 and $7,000 for a body shop to do this job. I spent around $2,500 doing this myself, plus about 40 hours of labor. And you know, that included me buying a spray gun that I didn't have. It was a couple $100, and the regulators stuff for my air compressor, that was about $200. So that was included in that, even though I didn't get the regulator in, didn't wind up using it. but it'll be used on another job somewhere down the road, I'm sure. So that's a whole lot cheaper than what the estimate I got, and they were talking about 30 hours of labor for them to do it. And the way they were going to do it is where I fixed all this with fiberglass, they were going to replace this fender. It comes apart right here, and replace this fender and this inner structure in here that where I fiberglassed all this bar across. This is the inner structure in the front of this hood. They were talking about taking all that out, replacing that, and instead of doing it the way I did. But it doesn't matter to me as long as that hood opens and closes, and it looks halfway decent, which I think it looks better than it has in a long time, and probably since I've owned the truck, really, because that old grill that was in there had paint flaking off and everything else. But anyway, I'm happy with it. Need to get the rest of the truck washed and everything, but I'm gonna let the paint dry. I'm gonna go in the house, get some sleep. Thanks for watching, you guys. Hope you enjoyed this long project. We'll see you next time.